going to be creating a cactus or succulent pot. We're going to be using patterns and lines for our bowl, and then a variety of different cactus with some texture. So to get started, you're going to need a white piece of paper. Mine is 8 inches by 10 inches, a pencil, a Sharpie to trace with, and something to color with. In my example, I used paint, but you could easily use crayons or use your markers. So pause the video, get your materials, and let's get started. So the first thing we want to do for our work of art is have our paper vertical and fold it in half. And we're going to use that vertical or that horizontal fold right here to know that the bowl or the pot is going to be below it and the cactus above it. So putting my hand on the middle, I'm going to make a dot on the folded line and a dot on the folded line. So it's about 3 to 2 fingers on either side. I'm going to make a curved line, and then this will be the opening for my cactus. Down below it will be the shape of my bowl. Now, if you look at this drawing I have, you can make your planting pot or bowl all different colors and shapes. So you can make it low, you can make it square, you can add a lip to it, you can make it a coffee mug if you wanted. Go ahead and get creative with it. So I'm gonna add this kind of lip to it. And then I'm gonna add a curve. Whatever shape you decide, notice I'm working left and right, back and forth. We want it to be symmetrical, and we want it to be flat on the bottom. So for on this example, I went all the way to the bottom. I could continue that, or I can cut it off and just kind of close it off and have it on the bottom here. If I do that, I'm gonna wanna show that it's kind of on the table or the ground and not floating in outer space. So this would be my table, my planting bowl, and all the cactus stuff. When I go in here, I can really come back before we get to the cactus and add some fun patterns. And all of these, we're using lines, and we're using shapes, and we're creating sections for patterns. So I'm gonna kind of divide mine out and say, okay, this one's gonna be a vertical pattern. Over here, I could create a square, and that's gonna be polka dotted. This one's gonna be a rectangle, and that's gonna have wavy lines. You get to come up with your own design. You might want to incorporate your name into it. Whatever you're thinking. And the pattern doesn't have to be symmetrical. So over here, I'm going to make a star shape. You can seriously come up with anything fun and creative for it. I'm gonna do some diagonal. And then I'm gonna leave that one empty. And then in here, create a large zigzag that will have circles just on the top, okay? So I filled out that. And now when you come up with the cactus, again, there are a lot of different cactus out in we live in the desert here, but you probably live somewhere else. If you have seen cactus, they can be vertical, they can be round, and they usually have, unfortunately, spiky needles that hurt. So you're gonna come up with a design. It could be one that has pads added to it. It could be a kind of round cactus barrel or a bunch of vertical ones. So I wouldn't get too tiny, and I think about using the space. You don't want it to be just on the bottom. So I'm gonna start by layering a big cactus here, And I'm gonna add the vertical pleats to the cactus. And then I know that these are gonna have little kind of dashes for the texture of the spike. And I'm doing this in pencil on the first one, but I'm not gonna do it in pencil on the other ones. I'm just gonna do that right in Sharpie. And then sometimes our cactus, depending on the season, bloom flowers. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little flower on there. That'll be a nice pop of color. And then over here, I'm gonna make a more rounded barrel cactus. And I know that will have spikes to it, and it's gonna have kind of a spike coming off of it. And then up at the top, I'm gonna get another vertical, but that vertical is gonna have some pads coming off of it. And those will have, I use like little X's to show the texture on those ones. Again, you could have some of the vertical pleats. When you've kind of got your design and it's filled in there, you can look at that one for inspiration as well. Then you're gonna outline in the Sharpie, and don't forget to add the texture to the cactus. So on this one, I'm gonna use little V's to show the texture detail. Can make little spikes on the pleats. Okay, so I have all the Sharpie outlined, and I added that fun texture on my spiky cactus. One thing I want you to do is to show the round shape of the pot by just kind of making that curve to show that it's going around the front here, and it's gonna go around the back because it's a three-dimensional shape. Okay, depending how much space you have in here, in this example, I was able to add some of the soil. Everyone's different, and then in this example that I created, I wrote my name on the side. You could also write it here in the middle in one of your sections. Wherever you decide to write your name, please don't write it along the edge or it will get cut off for the fundraiser we're creating this for. The next step is going to be coloring. So, we did some watercolor paint here. I think in the classroom we had temper cakes. You're gonna want to create kind of greens and purples and blues, cool colors in your cactus, and then really pop out some hot, warm colors and have that opposite contrast. And your background is your choice, whether it's just the sky or table or as creative as you want to get. So I'm going to begin with my green cactus, and I'm going to do a mixture of crayon and marker. So I'm outlining some of that detail and marker, aiming for really bold colors and a complete work of art. I don't want to leave anything white or unfinished. So with my green marker in my Crayola pack, I only have one color green. So I'm then gonna go and pick a couple different green colors that I have in crayon and mix it up that way. So this light green contrasts well with the dark green marker. Here's shamrock green. So depending on your Crayola pack of crayons, there should be a couple different greens, at least a light and a dark, and you can layer on a variety of colors that way. This one's olive green. Okay, so I have my different greens there. And now I'm gonna do the same combination.
You don't have to make all your cactuses different colors. You can make it the same color or...
Absolutely, if you wanna make it the same greens, that's fine. And then I'm gonna get some of my hot colors, which are red, orange, and pink.
You don't have to make a hot color.
And yellow. Well, what we did say, Annabelle, is we do want it to contrast. So I don't wanna make my succulent pot or bowl with green, because then it's all going to kind of camouflage or blend together. So I definitely do want to use contrasting colors.
Yeah, but like blue or purple would be fine. Just not...
I could add all kinds of colors
just
in
don't
here.
add green in your pot if you cactuses. Unless you did like a red cactus, which is I've never seen before.
Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of mix and put different colors all over.
So
you could
color and stop the video and we'll show you when you're done.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. So let's layer a bunch of different colors and we can't wait to see what you create. Okay, we finished coloring this one with markers and crayons. Annabelle came in to help me and she said, do a sunset in the back. So when I did the sunset, in case that's something you're excited about, I started with my yellow and went up. Then I had my orange and I went down and the colors overlapped. Same thing, so I took my orange, I went up, I took my red and kind of went down a little bit and they overlapped. And a little bit of here with the red and purple and a little bit here with the purple and blue and then finished out that blue sky color. And I thought, I have a lot of colors, so I'm gonna just do what my daughter calls a boring table in black. Be careful if you are writing your name in the inside, stay away from the dark colors, like blue or purple. The L in Samsel got kind of hidden by the purple marker. If I would have done my name on the outside here, like this example, you would have been able to see it clear. So just be aware of the color that you're choosing and whether it's crayon or marker, because that marker has that bold color that can hide some of your lettering. So here is an example with crayon and marker. Here is a painted example, and I can't wait to see your example. Thanks for creating art with me. See you next time.